presentation of Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
The Rays offense erupted last night in Kansas City, blasting 3 home runs and scoring a dozen runs in a shutout victory over the Royals. Tonight, right-hander Alex Cobb goes to the hill in Game 2 from the City of Fountains. Tonight we greet you from the Truman Sports Complex on a beautiful evening in Kansas City, the site of Kauffman Stadium, for Game 2 of this series between the Rays and the Kansas City Royals. Rays big winners last night, and they moved to within a game of the 500 mark and still alive in the wild card chase, 2.5 games off the pace. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. So good to have you with us. Alex Cordery will join us throughout the evening as well. Rays, a big offensive night last night, 3 home runs in the process, and the Rays continue to swing the bats.
Yeah, and Logan Morrison right now, he's a streaky hitter. Right now, fortunately for the Rays, he is on a very, very hot streak. First of all, last 3 games, been multi-hit efforts. The last 2 games, though, he's taken it to another level. 4 for 9 last 2 games, all for extra bases. 3 of them have left the yard, and right now Logan Morrison trying to get pitches elevated up and out over the plate and working his at-bats, and when he's gotten them, he has made solid contact, as you can see right there. Do not leave the ball up to Logan Morrison right now. No mistakes out over the plate where he can get his arms extended. When he does that, great things happen for this offense.
You know, for Alex Cobb, who'll be on the mound tonight for the Rays, his year really a tale of 2 seasons, his first 12 and his last 12.
Yeah, and the last 12 have been outstanding. And what, Alex Cobb has been doing is he's being efficient, working deep into games. He's averaging about 6.5 innings a start. 9 of the 12 starts, he's given up 2 earned or fewer. Very consistent, and the numbers bear that out. The record 5-3, ERA 2.90. Not striking out a ton of guys, but when you look at his batting average on balls in play, inducing a ton of weak contact by moving all of his pitches around the strike zone.
And the pitching matchup tonight, it will be Alex Cobb after win number 10, coming in 9-8, and Jake Junis, he's been up and down between the minor leagues and Kansas City, starts tonight with an ERA of just under 4.5, 3 wins and 2 losses, and he will face a lineup that is swinging the bat and swinging it with power. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at the Rays offense heating up with Rich and Orestes breaking it all down. Rays back in action tonight in Kansas City following last night's opening series victory. The Rays are 2-3 against Kansas City, dropping 3 out of 4 at the Trop earlier this year and beginning this series with their resounding win last night. It's been a difficult time recently for Kansas City. They're looking to score a run. No runs scored in their last 43 innings, coming off the 12-0 shutout at the hands of the Rays last night. The only 2 hits in that game provided by Lorenzo Cain. And when it comes to futility in that department, 43 innings for the Royals. They've matched the 1913 Browns and the 66 Astros. 39 Reds went 45 innings. The Cubs in 68. And the A's, the Philadelphia Athletics, in 1906 went 48 innings without scoring a run.
Boy, it doesn't look like the Browns are good at anything.
Well, let's take a look at the Rays lineup coming off a very good night last night. Lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Kevin Kiermaier leads it off, followed by the DH Lucas Duda. Evan Longoria hits plays third with Logan Morrison in the cleanup spot. Steven Souza Jr. is in right field, hitting in front of Corey Dickerson in left. The number 7 hitter Wilson Ramos. Brad Miller at second, hitting 8th. Adeiny Echeverria is the shortstop, and he bats 9th.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Kansas City Royals is going to be right-hander Jake Junis, making his 10th start of the season. 14th game overall, record 5-2 ERA, 4.68 as a starter in those 9 starts, 3-2 with a 4.47. But you talk to the people around here in Kansas City, and they like the way that he's been throwing the ball as of late. He's also a well-traveled young right-handed pitcher, and we'll get more into that later.
Well, here's Kiermaier starting the night at 273. He was on every time up last night. And the first pitch is a little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. 75 degrees here in Kansas City. Another gorgeous night. And there's a strike on the inside corner. Fastball around 90 from Junis.
And it'll venture up maybe 91, 92. Very good slider to go along with it. Curveball and changeup.
A ball, 2 strikes. That was the slider fouled back by Kiermaier. Two and 2. And Kiermaier out in front over that pitch and is out on strikes.
Boy, nasty breaking ball there by Junis to record out number 1. Let's take a look at the Royals defense, brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. In the outfield left to right, we have Brandon Moss, Lorenzo Cain, and Jorge Bonifacio. Across the infield, third to first, Mike Moustakas, Alcides Escobar, Whit Merrifield, and Eric Hosmer, with Salvador Perez back behind the plate.
Now Lucas Duda. He hits one sharply but foul up the right side. Duda 25 home runs on the year, 8 of those in a Rays uniform. 4 for his last 31, and all 4 of those hits have been home runs for Duda, serving as the designated hitter in this game. Under it and skies it towards center. That's Cain waiting for it. A strikeout and a fly ball out. 2 up, 2 down.
You can already see Jake Junis not afraid to pitch in. He's a guy, both guys tonight, as a matter of fact. Alex Cobb for the Rays, not stuff guys. So you're going to see 2 guys really trying to pitch, using both sides of the plate, occasionally elevating, working in the breaking ball, trying to get hitters out in front, change eye levels. Chess match.
Longoria taking a look at the first pitch, and it's a fastball down around the knees. Evan has got 107 consecutive plate appearances without a home run. It's his second longest streak in that department, dating back to 2015. And he's down in the count, 0-2. A ball, 2 strikes. Oh, he's hit by that pitch. A 1-2 pitch that plunks him up around the shoulder.
Every once in a while, you'll get a breaking ball that squirts out, and this is that one time. You're trying to go down and away. That was the slider, and it just came out of that hand goofy, up and in, hits Longoria, and gets the Rays a base runner. Hard to explain those. You know, you can explain it a lot of times, you know, on the knuckle curveball. You just don't have that, you know, the finger. You know, it's not a whole lot on the baseball, but a slider, usually out in front, that's a tough one to lose the grip on.
Well, here's Logan Morrison. A career year for Morrison with these 32 home runs, 6th in the league. Taps it foul.
Well, he can be extremely streaky. You see a lot of hitters get like that, and right now in the midst of a pretty good one here for the Rays.
Yeah, those 32 home runs, 22 base hits. He had one of each last night. 1-1 the count.
He came a couple of inches away from back-to-back ball games with 2 home runs. That ball last night, the double, hit right on the top of the wall, deep out there in right center field. In fact, that way it went to a replay. Crew chief review to make sure it was not a home run.
And as it stands, he's hit 3 home runs over the last 2 games. 5 times this year he's homered in consecutive games. And that's in there for a strike call. Well, last night he finished off what was a big offensive night for the Rays with a 3-run homer in the 9th. He is 2-2 with Junis. And a call, 3rd strike. Catches him looking. 2 strikeouts in the inning. We go to the bottom of the 1st, no score. Take a look at the Royals starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Whit Merrifield leads it off, their second baseman. Then Lorenzo Cain in center and Melky Cabrera the DH. Harry Cosmer hits cleanup in front of Salvador Perez. Mike Moustakas in his 35 home runs, hitting sixth in front of Jorge Bonifacio. Brandon Moss is in left, and Alcides Escobar, the shortstop, bats ninth.
And Alex Cobb making his second start since coming off of the disabled list with a turf toe, right big toe. He's making his 25th start overall. His last time out against the Toronto Blue Jays did not give up an earned run, but also only went 4 1/3 innings. He was done in by a pitch count. You don't typically see that with Alex, one of the most efficient starters out there, but 94 pitches, and he came out of that ball game 4 1/3 scoreless.
Here's Whit Merrifield to lead it off. And the pitch to him is upstairs, 1-0. Well, Cobb had one of the more unorthodox complete games that you could see when he pitched against Kansas City back in 2012. And that's part of the body of work against this team. Ground ball handled by Longoria. High throw, and a nice job by Morrison to stay in contact with the bag and corral that throw.
I'll tell you what, this is where a first baseman's footwork really gets a chance to show itself off. This ball spun Longoria. The throw's going to sail, but watch Logan Morrison reposition the body and still keep the tiptoe on the bag.
And you know, that's the basis of a good defensive first baseman. You'll see a lot of guys, they'll stick over there and their footwork is not what you'd expect, but that alone puts you on the course to being a good defensive first baseman. And a nice job by Morrison right there. Lorenzo Cain takes a strike.
So often you think you can take a big slugger and just plug in there, you know, stand on the bag, catch the ball when it's thrown to you. Occasionally you may have to scoop one, but boy, if you can be nimble with the feet, you go to that next level of being a very good defender and then onto the elite defender. That's where you come in with the hand-eye coordination, which we saw an awful lot of last night from Logan Morrison down there at first.
2-strike count on Cain. Merrifield went out third to first. Now 2 strikes the count on Lorenzo Cain. Ground ball, and a ball knocked down by Morrison. Scrambles to his feet, and they got him. Out the call by Bill Welke. Boy, what a job. Morrison knocked it down, stayed with it, and Cobb came racing over from first base. And Kansas City immediately wants to take a look at their video. That was some play. And here it is again.
Boy, this ball rocketed. This is where Cain had a couple of doubles up the right side in last night's game, but you knock it down and your pitcher had better be there. Anything to the right side, Alex Cobb has got to be breaking. A nice job with the backhand. Stay with it. Stay with it. And there, it looks like they may take a look at this. Oh, boy. Yep, Cain may have gotten there before that ball got into the glove.
Well, what great effort. And you see there, his foot's in contact. Here comes the throw. And I think close. Kansas City taking a look at this with the idea that they're going to get it overturned. We'll wait and see.
It's ball into the interior of the glove. That's got to happen before the foot comes down on the bag. And it looked like certainly Alex Cobb's foot got to the bag first, but there's no baseball.
Well, the Rays have the initial call in their favor. And it's going to go as a base hit. So they'll overturn the initial call. And Cain is aboard.
Great effort by everybody on that play.
Outstanding. So the call overturned at first. Cain is aboard, and Melky Cabrera stepping in now. Cabrera, the DH, quick throw to first, and Cain is back in, and of course Cobb with very quick feet, 5 pickoffs this year.
If you're going to be a right-handed pitcher and you want a good pickoff move, there's 3 components you have to have. Quick feet, short arm action, accurate, strong throws. And Cobb checks off all the boxes.
1-0 the count to Cabrera.
Now, he still gets challenged quite a bit out there. 11 stolen bases and 15 attempts to go along with the 5 pickoffs. So there's a lot of action out there with Alex on the hill, and Cain, one of those guys that'll go.
Fly ball back into center field. Kiermaier is going to be there to make the catch, and back to first goes Cain.
Let's take a look at the Rays defense, brought to you by our very good friends at Gold and Diamond Source. And in that outfield left to right, we've got Dickerson, Kiermaier, and Souza Jr. Across the infield, third to first, Longoria, Echeverria, Miller, and Morrison, with Wilson Ramos behind the plate.
Well, 2 outs now. Cain still at first, and on that last pitch to Cabrera, Cobb out of the stretch a little quicker to the plate with the delivery of that, with Cain over there. And I think that ball got on Cabrera a little quicker as a result. An eye on Cain. He's back in. Hosmer takes a strike. Hosmer 5 of 14 in his career against Cobb, with a couple of those hits home runs. 21 on the year for Hosmer, and the 3rd leading hitter in the American League with the average of .318. Foul the other way. Rays out in the first. They left a man. Kansas City, a runner at first, 2 outs. 2 strikes the count on Eric Hosmer.
You wonder what the collective mindset of this team is too, knowing full well that the scoreless streak, 43, now 43 2/3, and I'm sure that each of these guys are trying to relax in their own way. At the same time, they'd like to be the guy that gets something going. Put a lot of pressure on yourself.
More time. Cain back in.
Well, Lorenzo Cain, Whit Merrifield, those are the 2 big threats on the base paths. Cain is 23 out of 25 in the stolen bases. Merrifield 25 out of 27. This would be the time to go, but Alex got a good pickoff move, so you've got to be careful.
That's a strike on the inside corner. Catches Hosmer looking. We'll take another look at that pitch. A 10-pitch inning, as it turns out. No runs in the first for Kansas City. On to the second, scoreless.
the top of the second inning, and you see Jake Junis out there. A good breaking ball we saw in that first inning. Of course, one got away from him, and you could see why it did. The one that came up and in on Evan Longoria, the way that he grips that pitch, not a true slider grip. That almost is more curveball grip than slider, and even the spin on it, almost just a tight slurve. And everybody's got a different way of throwing their breaking ball, but you can understand how that ball from every now and then could squirt over those two fingers, and you understand why that one ended up hitting Evan Longoria. Regardless, most of them were pretty good.
Steven Souza Jr. takes the first pitch, and that's in there for a strike down around the knees. Quickly down 0-2.
He throws that pitch with conviction, and he throws that pitch with a quick arm out in front to get that tight rotation.
This one breaking off the plate. 1-2. Souza 0 for 4, had a walk last night. Fastball misses wide. 2-2. Souza Jr. is out on strikes. Third strikeout for Junis. $2 Kids Tuesdays presented by Morgan Auto Group continue Tuesday, September 5th. The Rays take on the Twins, and you can purchase $2 tickets for kids 14 and under with the purchase of a full price adult ticket. Fans can get $2 hot dogs presented by KM Franks. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit raysbaseball.com/specials. Corey Dickerson. Swings through that first pitch. Fastball. 25 home runs for Dickerson. Leads the team in hits with 147. Tied for 7th in the league. A little bit of that one foul, and down 0-2. Ten home runs allowed this year in 57 2/3 innings coming in. Covers 13 appearances for Kansas City, 9 starts. Fly ball into left center. Kane tracking it and calling it. 2 gone.
Well, we were talking earlier as we were introducing everybody to Jake Junis about being a well-traveled young right-hander. And you go back and you look at his transaction page. This is the seventh time that he has been called to the big leagues by the Royals. Up and down 6 times, now called up for the 7th here in the middle of August. So he has been wearing out Omaha to Kansas City, back to Omaha all year long, and has been asked to do a lot of different things. The starts out of the pen.
He never unpacks his suitcase.
No. How could you? I really had to count each one because I didn't believe what I was seeing.
Yep. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I mean, it's once, well, more than once a month.
One and one. Well, he only has a couple days to go until they expand the roster.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll stay put for a month plus here.
Hanging on for dear life. Putting a lot of pressure on himself to pitch well tonight. Especially the way this bullpen for the Royals has been used the last couple of games.
Now it's 2-1. Now the Rays knocked out Ian Kennedy in the 3rd inning last night. They used 5 pitchers out of the bullpen following the starter Ian Kennedy.
And the ball game before that, their starter got knocked out after an inning in the 3rd.
There's a soft little liner right off the glove of Junis, and still time to pick it up. And Merrifield throws out Ramos. He goes 1-4-3. And the Rays are down 1-2-3. Here's another look. Just a brush with the glove of Junis. And Merrifield came in. And with the Rays catcher going down the line, had time to close out the top of the inning.
Night in Kansas City, and because of the devastation in Houston, Major League Baseball has moved the Astros and Rangers series to Tropicana Field starting tonight, the 3-game series. We had an opportunity to catch up with the Rays president of baseball operations, Matt Silverman, and he told us that the Rays are proud to host the series and help the Houston community that was affected by Hurricane Harvey. Now, also terrific news, BA and Dwayne, by the team today. All proceeds from the series will be donated to relief efforts. Guys.
Yeah, that's certainly welcome news to the folks in the Houston area. Oh, look out. Here's a pitch up and in. That sails up there. Breaking ball and ducked by Perez.
Well, here early in this game already, we've got a beanball war going with curveballs and sliders.
It's a little unorthodox in a way to conduct that warfare with the breaking pitches. There's a broken bat and a ground ball to short. Echeverria throws out Perez, one away here in the second inning. Mike Moustakas makes his way to the plate. Moustakas with 35 home runs, tied for 4th in the American League. And he takes the pitch down and in, a ball, no strikes. Two and 0. Strike, and it's 2-1. In regard to that Rangers Astros game, Houston now batting in the bottom of the 4th at the Trop, trailing 8-2. How strange does that sound to hear that? 2-2.
8-2 Rangers over the Astros at Tropicana Field.
Yeah.
Bottom 4. The only thing about that game that's not strange is that Todd Callis has somehow found his way into the home team's booth.
He did. In fact, he sent me a photo on text just letting us know that he was going to take good care of the booth. Fly ball into center. Kiermaier is there, and he'll take care of that for the out. He is using our little lamp, and so we told him we'd charge him for the light bulb. But there they are earlier taking batting practice. The Rangers and the Astros at Tropicana Field. And boy, our thoughts and prayers and hearts go out to the people along the Gulf Coast over there. It has been a very difficult run here the last few days and in the days ahead. Bonifacio sending one up the right side foul, and that includes, by the way, some of the Fox people in our Fox Technical Operations Center there in the Woodlands, Texas, which is just north of Houston. And they have put in day after day of work. There's some of the devastation and the help going on, getting people out of harm's way in Houston. Better than 100 workers at the Fox Technical Operations Center in the Woodlands. They arrived Friday afternoon to go to work, and they've stayed there ever since to make sure that our regional networks continue to stay on the air through Hurricane Harvey and the aftermath. So they're in their 5th day. I think there's another broken bat by Bonifacio. 2 pitches, 2 broken bats. And most of those workers have not been back to their homes yet, making sure that the facility's working. They're sleeping on cots. They've been provided there, basic necessities, and make sure they are safe, but they have done yeoman's work. And that's what it has required in Houston and the surrounding area. There's a great human spirit there. They're going to get through it, but it's going to be costly. And that is strike 3. Bonifacio tried to check, but he's out on strikes. And we're going to go to the 3rd. No score. Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by your local Ford dealers. By the Florida Department of Transportation, who reminds you to drive sober or get pulled over. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. On to the 3rd we go here in Kansas City. Brad Miller to lead off for the Rays. Jake Junis, 28 pitches through the first couple of innings. A little tap foul. That's 7 of 8 first pitch strikes now for Junis. been pretty efficient with his pitches anyway, and certainly that way to start this game. 1-1. He's averaging under 16 pitches an inning. Two and one. Boy, if you get a young pitcher out of your system to come up from the minor leagues and average 15, 16 pitches an inning, what a great start that is for a young pitcher. 2-2.
Anytime you can be efficient, get your defense off the field as quickly as possible, attack the strike zone. It shows that you have command, and it shows that you're good enough to have command and get those 3 outs in a quick manner. 15 and a half pitches per is the gold standard.
Oh, and there is strike 3. It started wide and broke over, says Mike Estabrook. Miller caught looking.
Yeah, this is not your traditional slider, and that right there has more of a curveball look, and we broke that down for you and had a nice up close shot of the ball coming out of the hand.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a hump to it.
Well, yeah, and what I was going to say was it'll be real interesting to see the second time through, because it is a different type of breaking ball, the adjustment that these Rays hitters will make on it.
Echeverria, after the first pitch, rolls it to Escobar. A strikeout and a ground out.
A typical slider, your Chris Archer type slider, your 2 power fingers, index middle, stay behind the baseball all the way to the very end when you rip down over the top of it. And as you can see clearly with the breaking ball of Junis out there, those fingers are off to the side. It's more of a curveball look, almost more of a slurve than anything else.
It's Kevin Kiermaier. Pitch is a ball. Chopped to the right side, and Merrifield handles that. So another quick inning. 1-2-3 go the Rays. No score, mid-3. Pledge packs available for a limited time. Get yours today. Pledge packs include a ticket voucher, autographed baseball, Kevin Kiermaier bobblehead, and so much more. All proceeds benefit the Rays Baseball Foundation. Visit raysbaseball.com/pledgepack. Brandon Moss will lead it off here in the 3rd. Hitting 8th for Kansas City, facing Alex Cobb. The pitch is a strike call. Kansas City had a hit in the first, base hit by Kane. He was left on. It was that close play at first when Morrison knocked the ball down and Kane just barely beat Cobb in. And they had to review it. It was challenged and overturned. Now 2 strikes to Moss. And just down. Just missed with the fastball. The last run scored by Kansas City was Thursday on a home run by Brandon Moss. And he's out on strikes here. Strikeout number 3 for Cobb, and the first out in the third.
Well, still using that curveball as a weapon, and what Alex has been able to do with that pitch as far as locating it, he can throw it early in counts, keep it in the strike zone for strikes, and then he can bury it as the count goes on to try to get the swing and the miss or the ball off the end of the bat. The other thing that he does very well with that pitch is he will move it from side to side. Middle of the plate down, yes, but he'll backdoor it, he'll front door it. It's pretty advanced when you can locate a curveball.
Cedes Escobar fouls the first one. Going after the first pitch fastball, strike 1. Well, Cobb hasn't faced Kansas City since July of 2014, prior to his Tommy John surgery. This is his 6th career appearance against him. He's 1-2 in the first 5. Tapper foul, runs it to 0-2. Made 3 starts at Kauffman Stadium. This is his 4th. And 1 hopper out to Miller. That takes care of Escobar. Strikeout and a ground out.
The one thing that Alex has been doing first time through the order to this very antsy lineup and looking to try to get a run on the board is back and forth. Fastball, curveball, fastball, curveball. I mean, he is not letting them sit on any one pitch at any one speed for any length of time. You're getting guys out in front, you're getting guys chasing.
Now the hitter is Whit Merrifield, the second baseman. And that pitch just missed. Well, he'd like to have that call all night.
And he should. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
It's a breaking ball in for a strike. 1-1.
Just keeps doing it too. Fastball in, curveball. You'll mix it up and double up from time to time, but he just keeps back and forth these guys.
And 1 down the line and left. That ball is going to be a fair ball, and it's gone. Merrifield hits a 2-out home run in the 3rd. Kansas City came into the inning without a run for 45 consecutive innings. And Merrifield hits 1 out to snap that scoreless streak. Kansas City takes a 1-0 lead. The Royals relieved to have a run after all this time. First pitch is a strike to Lorenzo Cain. Ground ball 3rd off the glove of Longoria. Maria tried to make a barehanded pickup and throw all at the same time, and Kane is aboard.
Well, the way that Whit Merrifield was able to get it done was quick hands. That's a fastball in by Alex Cobb, and by no means was that a bad pitch. But look at him get the hands through there. He's got sneaky pop. We talked earlier in the game about his stolen base acumen, 25 out of 27. But that was his 16th home run, so he's able to be a double threat guy, and he got the Royals on the board.
Yeah, he's turning out to be a threat, period. And that 19-game hitting streak earlier in the year. He can steal bases. We just saw him hit a home run. And the Royals with an early lead. Kane reaches on what scored an error on Longoria, his 8th of the year. Cabrera takes strike one. Kane, who was aboard with the base hit in the first, on in the third on the error. He was on twice last night. So he continues to be a nemesis against the Rays. Starts and stops, and the pitch is fouled away, 0-2.
And you know what? He was trying to time up Alex Cobb right there, and he had him. That's the look. That's the look, is I was trying to time him, and I had it timed perfectly, and he didn't go. Watch this. Oh, he had it, and he knows it. You can see him right there cursing at himself because he had that perfectly timed and would have had a chance to get into scoring position. Not now. Alarm bells have gone off.
Yeah, there's an all alert out there now on him.
If we can see it from up here, well, let's see. Wilson Ramos saw it. The Rays dugout saw it. Alex Cobb probably sensed it.
A little tapper down to first, handled by Morrison, will retire Cabrera, and the Royals, who get a run on the home run by Merrifield, 1-0 Kansas City through 3.
We're now in the fourth. Well, on Monday night, Lucas Duda hit his 8th home run since coming to the Rays at the trade deadline after playing for the Mets since 2007 in the National League. What Kevin Cash says he likes about his adjustment to the DH role for the Rays is the way that he has spent time talking to his teammates, picking their brains. Cash says that it's always difficult for players to come over from the NL to the AL or vice versa, but the effort that Duda has put into doing so, Dwayne, clearly the results speak for themselves.
They do indeed. He's at 25 home runs overall, as you mentioned, 8 with the Rays. And that's a great addition from the power point of view. And at first base, Duda and Morrison have been interchangeable as a DH and first baseman.
I'll tell you what, for a big guy, I love how smooth he is. The way that he handles the bat, the way that he even receives balls out at first base. Very, very smooth and rhythmic.
A little tapper right there off the mound. Junis with the underhanded toss, and Duda is the first out here in the 4th inning.
Boy, Jake Junis continues to impress, mixing up his pitches much like Alex Cobb is doing.
And he sets a quick pace as well. He had 8 first pitch strikes of the first 10 men he faced.
Do you notice, because we talk about a lot of the stuff that's in this game, a lot of power guys, but the guys that are true pitchers that lack top-end elite stuff, the true pitchers work the quickest. Yeah, they try to stay in rhythm, they try to get you forward, back, up, down, they're moving you around, and they don't take a lot of time in making a decision to throw a pitch.
Yeah, when you watch the really good pitchers, they want to establish their pace. Deep short, this is Escobar, throw to first, close, and they just get Longoria. So Evan grounds out. You know, we've talked about that before. You would think that pitchers who start every play then have an opportunity to set the rhythm. And why not be the guy who sets that? Don't give that away.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, it really, to me, it stands out that the pitchers do that. The guys that have the big arms, some may, but a lot of those guys, they like to take their time, be very deliberate out there. I don't understand why either.
Well, especially if that were to be the case, Morrison takes it wide. You know, there is a school of thought that pitchers who take more time between pitches have a little more time to recover between pitches, and whatever small amount of velocity they add, there is that school of thought that thinks that adds velocity, taking longer between pitches. 3 up, 3 down. Brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. and by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Alex Cobb on the hill for the Rays tonight. Touch for the home run in the third. And it's a 1-0 game as we go to the bottom of the fourth with Eric Hosmer about to lead off. There's a first pitch strike. Breaking ball to start the inning. That's a liner into center for a base hit. And Hosmer leads off the frame with that hit. He's at first.
Did a really nice job of staying back on this breaking ball. That leg kick, the timing mechanism, he gets it down, keeps his hands back, and then shoots that ball into center field. Eric Hosmer having a tremendous offensive year, batting average, the home runs, runs driven in, on base percentage.
Now Salvador Perez. This one skips right past Ramos. And down to second base goes Hosmer on a wild pitch. The Royals have a runner in scoring position with nobody out.
Yeah, Alex just carried that ball with him a little too long. I'm not sure what he was trying to throw right there, whether that was the fastball or the change. But he just held on to that. Ends up squeezing it by Wilson Ramos. A mistake that you're not going to see very often from Cobb.
1-0 the count on Perez. Another pitch in the dirt. It's blocked by Ramos.
You know, that ball came out of the same arm slot as the previous fastball. Able to determine that that's what it was that he yanked so badly, but he yanks the breaking ball just as bad. Here comes the curve, and boy, it's right out there too. He adjusts the sights and the release point.
So Hosmer in scoring position, Perez up in the count. That's fouled out of play. Kansas City broke the scoring drought after 45 innings on the home run by Merrifield. They're in this 5-game losing streak, and they've gone 0 for 19 with men in scoring position during that stretch. Well, the Rays know how they feel after the All-Star break when the Rays went into the doldrums offensively. It's right back out of play, 2-2. Cobb making his 25th start. Coming in with a 3.69 ERA, among the top 10 in the American League in earned run average. Count still 2-2. Perez down to one knee, swinging and fouling that knuckleball away.
You know, he had that intercostal strain, and they said that that was something that he was going to have to play with the rest of the season as much as he could tolerate. And he said there are nights where it doesn't feel that good. That looked to be a swing that didn't feel that good to Salvador Perez, and you just hope that he doesn't hurt that further. You would think that that would be an injury that would be susceptible to re-injury, making it worse.
Now a full count, especially for him. Number one is position, and number two his swings, and you can see him right there stepping away from the plate. and trying to make what doesn't feel right.
And you just wonder if that's the type of injury that can last another 5-6 weeks. I mean, you really wonder that, because he just took a ball down for a ball and asked for time to try to get that, you know, feeling a little bit better.
3-2, and he fouls this one.
That couldn't have felt good either.
Yeah, he is trying to work his way through it. Watch this, down to one knee, and you can see the grimace.
I don't see how this lasts the rest of the season. And you know, they said that he'd have to gut it out. I don't see how you, if that's your swing with 4.5, 5 weeks to go in the season, how in the world are you going to be able to keep that up, grimacing every big swing?
Two, and a little tapper shortstop. Echeverria up and out with the throw to get Perez, and Hosmer has to remain at second base.
And everybody, Alex Cobb in particular, very fortunate there, because Perez swung at ball 4. Fastball that was down well below the zone, and Echeverria, come to expect that from him, smooth.
Echeverria continues to be flat out fun to watch play shortstop.
La Pantera.
Yes, I just thought of that, you know, for that Players Weekend. It was the Jaguar or the Panther. Either one. Yeah.
They all work.
Either one for him. There's a strike to Moustakas.
I was just going to say, if La Pantera meant Jaguar, I just failed my Spanish test, because I put Panther for sure.
Well, that's what he was all weekend. But very similar to either one of them. He is fun to watch out there. Now 2 strikes to count on Moustakas.
I thought for a moment there he was just a big fan of the rock group Pantera, and then I saw the lot in front of him, and I'm like, yeah, maybe there's a little more to it.
Yeah. The other way into left, a base hit. Hosmer's going to head to the plate. Moustakas drives in the run. And Kansas City now leads 2-0. Moustakas down, stroked it the other way, and drives in the run.
Isn't that the way this goofy game works? You can't score for 45 innings. You didn't score since the 2nd inning last Thursday. You finally get a run in. Well, of course, the next inning you get another one in. A breaking ball that just stayed away and allowed Moustakas to go out and just poke it into left. And here comes that 2nd run.
Now Jorge Bonifacio, 15 home runs for the Kansas City outfielder. Ball, no strikes. Strike. 1-1. Bonifacio up through the Royals minor league system. They signed him in 2009. And they like his bat. Also like his arm in the outfield. Pretty good arm out there. And there's strike 2, 1 and 2. The AARP getting to know this young outfielder, Jorge Bonifacio, 24 years old, the younger brother of Emilio Bonifacio. Jorge making his debut in April. This one bounces away. Ramos can't find it, and into second base goes Moustakas. That's a wild pitch. Second of the inning. And now Moustakas is in scoring position.
Breaking ball down and up off the left oblique of Wilson Ramos. He just can't find it. And Moustakas reading that ball in the dirt and it getting away from him. Able to move up to second base as Wilson continues to look for it.
Ground ball toward the middle, and that skips through. Moustakas will stop at third. Kiermaier coming in from center field. Somehow that ball skipped through the middle. Echeverria made a diving attempt to stop it.
There was a little miscommunication here, Dwayne. This ball splitting the difference, and you can see Emilio, thinking about Jorge's brother. You can see Adeiny Echeverria right here, not going after it all the way. Brad Miller headed that way, then pulled up. That was just a goofy-looking play by the Rays middle infielders, and that ball snuck through. Fortunately, Moustakas got held up at third because Kiermaier came in, but a goofy-looking play there up the middle extends this inning a little bit more.
And now it's Brandon Moss. Moss struck out on a breaking ball his first time. Fouls it the other way, out of play, strike one.
I was thinking about Emilio. He's a, if you can believe this, Dwayne, a huge fan of the show. You may not have thought that, but you know, the back channels that we have some ears and
yeah, to the point of being a friend of the show.
Yeah, very, very much so. He's welcome anytime.
Pitch is down. Runner's going to try to move up, throw down, safe there. Well, Jorge Bonifacio, not known for his speed, but heads up there, and he got in to move into scoring position.
Boy, the memo to the Royals: be aggressive. This is how the Rays typically see this team. Read the ball in the dirt, and off he goes. This one, though, Wilson Ramos able to corral, to at least control a little bit out in front. They got a chance to get him, but Boney got in there.
Now 2 men in scoring position. 1-1 to count on Moss. And that's lifted out of play, 1-2. Well, Moss likes to lift the ball, but still you were hoping that if you could keep a guy at first, you'd have the chance for the double play, but that goes by the wayside now. Just a little piece of it, but a foul ball, and the count is still 1-2. Cobb over 20 pitches in this inning.
He needs a strikeout in the worst way. Tried to get it there with that split change. Didn't have a lot of finish to it, but it did have the change of speed, and that's why Moss just off the end of the bat. You wonder what he comes back with here. He could go that front door sinker, try to freeze him. Here we go.
And he got the strikeout. Boy, that's exactly what he needed there. Out number 2. Second time he has struck out Moss, and boy, this a very big one.
Now he goes hook, and he keeps the hook close to him. We talked earlier about the fact that Alex Cobb with that curveball has become so advanced with it. It can be in the zone. He can take it below the zone. He can locate it side to side, and that's what he did there. Came down and in with the hook by design, and he's 1 out away.
Escobar started to go. Did he? No, says Bill Welke down at first. Kansas City with a 2-0 lead and 2 men in scoring position with 2 outs in the 4th inning. Oh, fastball misses. 2-0. Ground ball. That's Longoria with a pickup, and the throw to first retires Escobar. The damage limited to the 1 run. Nice play down at third by Escobar on the ground ball by Longoria, hit by Escobar. And it's 2-0 through 4, Kansas City. Rays, we go to the 5th inning. MLB.TV every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Well, not much doing for the Rays so far against Jake Junis. There's a first pitch strike to Steven Souza Jr. That's 9 of 14 first pitch strikes for Junis. 1-1.
You hope here shortly there's a comfort level that starts to sink in here with this Rays offense, because you're right, Junis has been in complete control.
Fair ball down to third. Scoop. And Stockus makes the throw. And Souza Jr. is retired to begin the 5th inning.
You know, you go back to just the way that he has attacked Souza Jr. here tonight. First at bat, everything away. Everything away, got a fastball by him, up in the strike zone, away. That time he starts him away, then comes in. And that's how we saw Toronto pitching Souza Jr. And he does get the jam shot, ground ball to third base. So paying attention to the scouting report and switching up the sequences.
Well, Corey Dickerson will take his time before he settles in. And here's Junis setting this pace, and Dickerson taking his good old time before he steps in.
And that's where you stand on the mound. You want to yell, just get in the box, take your at bat, your over, and head back.
First pitch is a strike. A little break to that one.
But you know what? It's gamesmanship on both sides. You got a guy that wants to work quickly. That's what hitters will do. They'll slow play. They'll step out. I don't like hitters.
That's the way it should be. 0-2.
No,
pitchers don't like hitters, and hitters don't like pitchers.
Yeah. I mean, there was a couple guys I played with. Greg Colbert. You know, old school, hard-nosed, you know, position player. He didn't even like the pitchers on his own team.
Yeah.
If you did a nice job, okay.
And there was a time when that was not uncommon. It was really the rule.
I think his mindset, he's obviously mellowed these days. And you know, you talk to some of these guys like, hey, I don't know where we're going to be from year to year, and I don't want you having any comfort level with me in case we face each other down the road.
Yep.
And I just frankly told him, you're the worst teammate I've ever played with at any level.
He said, good.
He's very happy with that.
It's a chopper right side, and that's going to go through. Sneaked its way through. And Dickerson is aboard. Well, Junis was going to have to get over to first base to cover, and that would have been a race. And now Dickerson is kneeling over at first base, and he may have turned something there as he went down the line.
Now everything was goofy here. The ball coming off the bat, it stayed down between Merrifield and Hosmer. It took a weird bounce there. They can't get it, and then you see Corey Dickerson kind of weaving his way over to first base, trying to avoid Junis covering. Boy, something did not feel very good right there, obviously. Well, he's going to stay out there.
You know, you're always concerned. You see a guy go down the line and pull up with that reaction. But it appears to, at least for the time being, dissipated, which would be great if he's okay, but I'm sure they'll keep a close watch on that. So a base hit. The Rays have their first hit. Now Wilson Ramos. The strike. Ramos down 0-2. Four-year-old right-hander out of Rock Falls, Illinois. And Ramos is out on strikes.
3 straight, Dwayne.
That one away from him again, just off the plate.
First 2 in the same spot, and then let's see if we can walk him off the edge. And you're right, that's what he did, and it worked. Obviously, the spin on that pitch is extremely tight because this second time through the lineup, Junis has not been afraid to throw that pitch. In fact, his last outing was that against Colorado. All 7 strikeouts against the Rockies came on that breaking ball, which I'm inclined to call it a curveball more than a slider.
Yeah, it does have the look of a curveball. 1 strike to count. But it's interesting how some pitchers, you referenced it early, pitcher calls it a slider. Okay, it's a slider. A curveball. Okay, it's a curveball.
Or is all the whatever. No, I'm not going to go there. I'm trying to be good tonight. I'm trying to be good tonight.
You're always good.
No, well, but I've got a rant set up that could end up leading to a phone call. to.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood for any phone call. So I'm going to go ahead and sit the next couple of plays out and calm down.
Warning noted. A little tap foul. We won't be talking to BA on the phone. We may go face to face, but not on the phone.
We can FaceTime.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh,
there you go. And Miller is out on strikes. And the Rays are out in the 5th. That breaking pitch again. 2-0 Kansas City. Great moment. We go all the way back to 2000. It's Pedro Martinez hitting the first batter of the game, Gerald Williams, and he didn't like it. It resulted in a beanball war with the ejection of 8 Rays players and coaches. After hitting Williams, Martinez then went on to retire the next 24 hitters before John Flaherty broke up a no-hitter with a base hit in the 9th inning. And Dave Island, the pitching coach of the Kansas City Royals, was a member of that team for the, at the time, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. That set off some bad blood between the Rays and the Red Sox for a while. Top of the batting order with Merrifield, and a strike on him. Pitch thrown into the dirt. It's 1-1. There's a strike. It's 1-2. Ball, 2 strikes. This one is up, 2-2. Remember Brian Daubach, I think, was on that team for the Red Sox. He somehow got involved in that little disagreement, and Devil Ray pitchers had trouble. All they could do is brush him back. They couldn't hit him.
They were trying.
They were, I'm afraid to say.
So they've got multiple guys throwing at Brian Daubach. And by the way, it's not like he was a string bean.
No, he was not a nimble guy.
Not at all. No, and they couldn't hit him.
No.
I mean, nothing screams out Devil Rays more than that.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. I mean, we had all that frivolity on the field and guys getting to know each other up close and personal, dodging pitches, and sometimes just standing there and watching pitches go by. There's a strike to Lorenzo Cain.
I mean, that's pretty bad. I don't even know what to say to that. That's pretty awful.
Hey, gotta see it all. A little tapper left side. Nice barehanded pickup. Throw to first in time, says Bill Welke. And Lorenzo Cain gave the safe sign. And, you know, he did the same thing in the first.
Yeah.
And the Royals got that one overturned. And Cain thought he had a base hit right here. And we'll see what the Royals decide to do. They're going to take a look at it again. And if Cain is aboard, he's going to think that Bill Welke is really making him work to get a hit.
Yeah, well, listen, it's going to be a close play right because of that. A chopper, slow roller, Longoria bare hand, that's the right play. And I had Cain safe initially myself. And I think that that's going to be the case. That toe got to the front of the bag. Yes, before the ball is in the glove. So he is going to be safe once again, and this should not take very long.
Well, I think the last one took 51 seconds. And we'll see how long the official reading is on this one. So Cain's going to be aboard. 35 seconds this time, so they're getting that down pat. 35 seconds to overturn that one. So that's 6 hits now for Kansas City. Here's Melky Cabrera, and a move to first. You know, Cain already has a great portfolio against the Rays. The highest average against Rays pitching of any active player, 375 now. Joe Mauer, Howard Kendrick, and Victor Martinez. It seemed that Kendrick was hitting about 500 plus against the Rays for the longest.
Yeah, they figured out Howie Kendrick to a point. You're right. He was way up there and way out in front. Well, Lorenzo Cain had the only 2 hits last night. 2 again here tonight.
There he goes. Pitch hit on the ground to third. Longoria backs up, makes the throw. That means third base is open, and over to third goes Cain. Cobb tried to get over there to cover, but he's not going to win that race.
Tell you what, this is what makes this team fun to watch. Lorenzo Cain rounded second base. First of all, he's off and running. And a ground ball. Now he's seeing where Longoria is, and as soon as he commits on the throw, he knows that there's nobody going to be there in time to get him.
Cain goes first to third on the ground out to third. Two gone for Eric Hosmer. Hosmer single to open the fourth and scored. And the pitch is a strike. Hosmer's now 6 of 15 with 2 home runs against Cobb. 0 for 3 last night, retired on an outstanding play by Morrison at first. Foul ball runs the count to 0-2. Ball right side. Cobb will cover, takes the toss from Morrison to retire the side. No runs ahead, a man left at third. On to the 6th, 2-0 Kansas City. The 24-year-old right-hander Jake Junis has limited the Rays to just one hit. And that base runner, he hit a man with a pitch, and that's been it. Meanwhile, Whit Merrifield broke the scoreless streak. His Kansas City ball club had gone 45 innings without a run before Merrifield hit the home run in the third. They added another run in the fourth inning. Osborne scored on the base hit by Moustakas. And so at the end of 5, it's 2-0 with the Rays coming in to hit in the 6th, trailing, and sending Adedi Echeverria up there to lead off against Jake Junis. 58 pitches for Junis through 5, so he's been very efficient in that department as well.
Well, the one thing you got to remind yourself as a Rays offense gets ready to go to work here, you're down just 2 runs. Put something together.
And a bunt attempt by Echeverria right at the feet of the plate umpire, Mike Estabrook.
That's one way to try and do it. Try to get a base runner and get something started to lead off an inning.
Kiermaier will be next, and then Duda. So there's some power behind Echeverria here in this inning, and speed for that matter. One ball, 1 strike. Now 1 and 2. Called. So there's that breaking pitch again. And he has 3 consecutive strikeouts now, 2 swinging to end the 5th, and this one looking to start the 6th.
And trying to go down and away. And he had him set up. After the fastball in, they're trying to go down and away. That's where a backup breaking ball just ends up freezing a hitter, and it works out anyway.
Now Kevin Kiermaier. Trying to bunt it, takes the pitch down.
And I think he was going to try and pull that bunt up the right side. Moustakas was playing in far enough to be able to make a play, but if he pulled it to the right where Hosmer and Merrifield are, you get it by the pitcher, it's base hit.
And a check as that pitch was biting down and in. 2-0. 7 strikeouts for Junis tonight. That ties his career mark. There's a line drive through the hole on the right side. A base hit. Kiermaier is aboard. So the Rays, with 1 out, have a base runner.
Finally get a count in your favor. You get a 2-1 pitch out over. Take advantage. You get speed on base, power coming up.
Junis had 7 strikeouts in his last outing 5 days ago in Colorado when he gave up a run on 7 hits in 5 1/3. Struck out 7 and walked 1. Lucas Duda in the batter's box. Upstairs, a ball, no strikes. Cleveland at New York. That game postponed. Baltimore leading Seattle in Baltimore 3-0 in the bottom of the 8th. Here the Rays are down 2-0 in the top of the 6th. Lucas Duda up in the count 2-0.
Well, you've started to see Jake Junis now 3rd time through start to nibble. And he fell behind Kiermaier, led to a hard hit ball into right field. Now behind Duda 2-0. These are the counts that he cannot be in.
3 balls, no strikes. And 1. Back in at first, Kiermaier. A little bit of that outside corner. Full count.
I mean, just a little. And trying to go up and in. That ball ends up away, gets the call. And now, what do you get here? Does he try to come back in with the heater, or does he try to play the breaking ball off of that? Lucas Duda wondering the same thing.
Runner goes, and the pitch, that's a strike. Did he go or not? And now down to second goes Kiermaier, and Duda tried to check his swing. Perez is going to claim that Duda interfered.
And the pitch ended up behind Duda's back leg.
Yeah,
it was a breaking ball.
Down and in.
Yeah, and it ended up behind him. And so he catches it after the check swing that they called strike 3 on. And now he's claiming, hey, I'm coming out of my stance to throw, and I couldn't do it. There it is, down and away. There's the swing, and he comes up, and Duda's leaning over that part of the plate.
So Duda's out on strikes on that breaking pitch, the 8th of the night, and here is the aftermath.
You see that?
I don't know what else Duda would do except what he did right there.
Well, what Perez saw was after the swing and a miss, the check swing, that left foot started to step towards the plate. And, you know, that's going to take the back part of your body over. I think Perez is obviously grasping at something here, because he was not going to be able to get a throw off.
Well, he has a conference among the umpires going as a result of that.
Watch the back left foot. Okay, check swing. Now it starts to head into his line, ends up right behind the plate as he's getting ready to throw, and that's what he's pointing at. Hey, he's standing behind the plate.
And Perez came out of there pretty adamant about all of that. Kevin Cash says, hey, what are you doing? What are you going to do? Let me in on it.
Yeah, what are they going to do? There's nothing been said. I don't see any headsets. See lots of meetings. Those typically don't get anything done.
Well, the umpiring crew split up now between both managers. Kiermaier took off on the pitch. He's standing at second base right now. Duda. You know, how about this, though? What's eligible and not eligible for a review? Umpire judgments, including interference, obstruction, check swings, balks, and the infield fly rule. That pretty much covers this situation, I would think.
The only thing that you could say is, did they ever make a judgment? They met, they never said anything. So I don't know if anybody made a judgment on it. Because you're right, that the way that you read that, if a judgment's made and they say, no, there was no interference, you can't review it. But I don't think they said anything. There's the step, there's the Is this what we've come to?
I'm afraid it is.
To goodness.
Well, we're getting word that the Royals are going to challenge.
Yes.
Let me make sure we get this right. They're going to challenge that he was not hit by the pitch. That's what MLB is saying right now. They're looking for a loophole.
They have
to be.
The
same thing that W.C. Fields did when he was in the hospital and they caught him reading the Bible. He said he was merely looking for loopholes. Well, I mean, this is going to be even trickier than that, I'm afraid.
But let me ask you something. So it hit him. He swung.
Now they're going to say he was hit by the pitch.
But he swung. So it's an out. It's a strike 3, but the runner goes back.
That's the loophole. There are loopholes.
There are.
Get the scriptures out right now.
There a lot.
We're looking for them.
I think it's pretty ironclad. I don't know if you're
take a look.
Oh, here it is. Check swing. He's going to go. Oh, it did hit right on the outside of that left foot. How about that?
Wow, that is that's eagle eye right there to pick that up and to enter that challenge. So now strike to Longoria. Duda hit by a pitch, but he swung and is the second out. And on the challenge, Kiermaier had to go back to first.
You know what's great is they're challenging that the ball hit the outside of the left leg. So because he did check his swing, or he didn't check it, he swung and he struck out. But if he hits the foot, the runner has to come back. And we're sitting up here and I'm all dopey talking about something else. Completely missed the boat. It's not very good.
There's a liner into left. Kiermaier's going to go to third. Moss back to second with the throw. And it will be first and third as Longoria comes up with a base hit. Well, you know, when we came to the ballpark, there were about 6 or 7 guys in 3-piece suits sitting on a bench right outside the Kansas City locker room. And now I know what they were doing. They were attorneys.
High price.
There they are.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to be an attorney to figure that one out. Well, it's first and third, 2 gone. Logan Morris and due. And we're going to have a call to the bullpen. Boy, this young right-hander, Jake Junis, has been very good. And now a call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. First and third down by a couple runs here. Get a $6 value for $5 when you ask for a grouper from the Florida Lottery. With so many life-changing prizes, get your group ready. The Florida Lottery, it's your ticket. Claim it. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly.
Does anybody still have an explanation about that dance? That whole ensemble?
no. The answer is no.
I want to know. I want to know what that all means. Is it a group dance thing with group? I'm not sure, but I can't put it all together. And the get-ups too. The one guy with the sailor hat. They've got the overalls with one snap down. Bright colors. I don't know. I want to know. I'm guaranteeing that people at home want to know. They wanted to know about Jake Junis coming into this ball game. What was he going to be able to do? Well, let me tell you something, D-Wayne. He did some nice things tonight here for the Royals. This team has been sliding. They haven't been scoring. They haven't been winning. But Jake Junis tonight on the backbone of what we're going to call a curveball. We're not going to go with the slider. That was a curveball by Jake Junis, and he made pretty good use of it here tonight.
Well, it's Scott Alexander on, and we saw him for a short time last night. Here's Logan Morrison. And a shot foul jumping on the first pitch. A fastball and hit a long way, but foul. Alexander with that fastball. Low to mid-90s from this lefty. There's a base hit into center field. Morrison drives in Kiermaier, and the Rays are on the board. So Morrison, who's been very hot, drives in his 75th run of the year, sending Longoria up to second. And it's a 2-1 game.
Boy, he got a meatball right out over the plate here. That pitch just stayed up. It stayed flat. Just too easy for Morrison. Just slap that ball, go right back up the middle. There's no defense there. And the Rays cut that lead in half.
Steven Souza Jr. takes the pitch up. 1 ball, no strikes. Strike. 2-0.
I'll tell you what, Alexander coming out here tonight, not sharp at all. Every pitch has missed its spot badly. First 3 up, that one he tries to make the adjustment and he spikes it. That's what's going to get the visit here. This is a visit you understand. You know, we talk a lot of times about these catcher-pitcher visits, and sometimes they don't make a whole lot of sense. This one makes perfect sense.
Two balls, no strikes. No pitch in there. 2-1. Three and one. Tapper foul. So it's a full count. Goes, and the pitch is foul. Well, here's the question on that play that we just witnessed. And all the time it appeared that Perez was after interference. But does he have to throw the ball before it's interference when a runner's breaking? And the pitch there is ball 4. The bases are going to be loaded. and what happened at the end of that play. And the Royals were right on top of this, and by arguing that it was a hit by pitch, then the ball's dead, but he swung at it, and the runner has to go back to first, and that's how it was resolved. And I wonder what Perez was saying from the outset. Did he want interference, or was he claiming that Duda was hit by a pitch to begin with, or was that something they picked up on the video when their staff was looking at it?
Yep.
Yes.
You know what else? When after he backhanded that ball in the dirt, he tagged him. He pulled the ball out and reached up and tagged him.
So that sort of tells you their video people figured out that, hey, if we claim he was hit by a pitch, then we're going to get out of this what they wanted to get out of it.
The suits, they were on it.
There's Corey Dickerson. Rays have loaded the bases. We'll take a look at this one more time. Everybody's looking at the check swing. Well, see there, he tags him.
But then he's like,
and then he says, wait, it hit his foot. So he's covering the whole thing.
Yes, he was.
That's what he's doing.
That was pretty impressive right there.
It was impressive by Perez. A little chop to the right side. Merrifield throws out Dickerson. And so the Rays get on the board. They're down 2-1. Braves on the board here in the top of the sixth. Salvador Perez will open the home half of that frame. Looking to celebrate the upcoming special occasion or put together the next team building event for work? Well, the Rays have a number of options for groups of 20 or more, from exclusive party areas to suites to general seating. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Rays up. Alex Cobb has made 72 pitches through the front five, 55 strikes, and 14 of 21 first pitch strikes for Cobb.
Well, no walks, 2 earned runs right in this game as we head into the home half of the sixth. And Alex Cobb was limited to 4 1/3 innings his last time out. Pitch count got a little too high, a lot of extended at-bats, but 72 through 5.
Well, here's Perez to lead it off. Couple of ground balls to short tonight. breaking pitch is in there to lead it off. Well, Perez heads up on that play in the top half of this inning because he was tagging the hitter just in case it was strike 3, and he was also arguing that that ball hit his foot. So he was pleading both cases, and that is quick thinking on his part. Hot shot foul back of third. 1-2. Royals scored a run in the third on the Merrifield home run. They got another run in the 4th inning when Moustakas singled home Hosmer. Now Perez followed by Moustakas and then Bonifacio. And the breaking ball stayed up and in. 2-2. This one gets away. So it's 3-2 now.
Well, we saw a breaking ball get away from Jake Junis, and here's one that gets away from Alex Cobb. Another curveball that stays way up and in. Understandable when you're throwing that spike curve. You've got such little finger mass on the baseball that every once in a while it squirts out.
And a cut and a miss. He comes back and gets him with a fastball. Strikeout number 6.
Well, just lays this one right out over the plate. I mean, right there to put a good swing on. That's what Perez did, but it comes up empty.
Now here is Mike Moustakas. Moustakas with an RBI single in the 4th. First pitch a little high. Ball, no strikes. Be sure and stay tuned in the 7th inning, the Jeep Compass game break. Rich and Orestes will have highlights from around Major League Baseball. Pitch skied to the left side. Echeverria angling out. Still on the move. Gets there, reaches back and makes the catch while hitting the deck. He ran a nice angle out there from shortstop and then found himself a little bit under that ball, a little bit too much. And comes back to make a nice catch right there. This is our Bonefish Grill catch of the game.
How far he had to go. Almost overran it at such an odd angle. But he's able to circle back right here, follow it, follow it. Those eyes never left the baseball.
Here's Jorge Bonifacio. Pitch is in there for a strike. 29-year-old right-hander Alex Cobb doing the pitching. And he's ahead of Bonifacio. Bauer in the bullpen. Ball, 2 strikes. It's a 2-run game once again. Now 3-1. Bonifacio's 16th home run of the year.
Dwayne, did you see as that breaking ball, and Alex Cobb has had some trouble with the curveball here this half inning. When that ball came out of his hand, you could see Bonifacio's face light up. His face light up, and he pulled the trigger on that swing. He talk about a guy, I mean, he just... Boy, oh boy.
That power pack. And a shot to left out of here. Brandon Moss skies one to left on the next pitch to retire the side. But a run scores on the home run by Bonifacio, 3-1 Kansas City. Tonight's Unlimited Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Giancarlo Stanton at it again against the Nationals on the road. 51 home runs now, 1 for 2 with a 2-run homer in Milwaukee. Has 18 home runs in August.
You know, and Dwayne, I could be completely wrong because I don't pay a whole lot of attention to the team from South Florida's games for obvious reasons, but his batting stance, it almost looks like he's a little bit more closed now. So if he does start to leak just a little bit towards the third base line, it still keeps him really balanced and on point. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I saw a couple of those home runs and I thought, boy, his batting stance looks a little different. He looks to be a little bit more closed right now. But whatever he's doing, it's working.
Well, you could be right. Who's going to argue with that logic? You've been trying to figure out a lot of things tonight.
I'm trying to be right on one of them, so I'm just going to keep throwing it out there until I get something right.
Brandon Maurer in the game now on the hill as Ramos fouls it up the right side. Hey, another thing on that Perez deal behind the plate.
You are studying this like it's your job. I love it. Go.
Pitch outside. So he tagged him.
Yep.
Why?
I don't know. I think you're like, I think what you were saying, he's just covering all his bases.
Yeah,
I'm going to tag him. I'm going to claim
anything
this.
I can think about, I'm going to do it.
He stepped on home plate too, I think. In case that meant something. Pitchers mount poison.
They pump foul out of play. Why not? I mean, hey, I did that. Of course it didn't make any difference. But just do it all. I think that's exactly what he was doing.
He backhanded it, tagged him, called for the shoe, stepped on home plate, and then he went out to the mound, like just in case that had any thing to do with the play. I just love how you've every angled this right to the end.
The foul right back into the screen. Well, it keeps us out of trouble. Occupied to a point.
I think we move on to the grouper dance next.
And a lot to break down there. High pop fly, short right. Bonifacio right there to make the catch. Friends call him Boney. Eldorado Furniture inviting you to settle in with us tomorrow as the Rays take on the Royals. Our coverage begins at 7:30 on Fox Sports Sun. That'll be Odorizzi and Vargas, righty against a lefty. Brad Miller. Miller twice has struck out. It's Brad Boxberger in the bullpen. One and one now. Two and one to count. There's a shot deep into right, and that baby's out of here. Home run to right by Brad Miller, and again, the long ball makes it a one-run game. So Miller connecting on a 2-1 pitch. The Rays with a run in the 6th, and now a run in the 7th.
I think Brad Miller wondering how many sliders is Maurer going to go with here. One after the other, and he finally got one in the wheelhouse in a 2-1 count. That shot right there off the bat left zero doubt.
Danny Echeverria after that first pitch fastball. That one hit 100.
There's some anger on that fastball, realizing your team just gave you another 2-run cushion and you give it right back with a hanging slider.
A little get together with Maurer and Perez. .410 feet on the home run by Brad Miller. There's a chopper headed toward the middle. Escobar makes the play. And Echeverria is out number 2.
Boy, he took one extra shuffle right there, and by doing that, he then had to show off the arm. Echeverria, I thought, maybe had a chance to beat that out, but Escobar gets to the ball and then steps into the throw.
There's Kevin Kiermaier.
Trust me, I got that one right, and there's no evidence to suggest otherwise. So that's what I'm going to hang my hat on.
I would concur. A little tap to third. Moustakis over to first. Kiermaier is out of there. Rays get a run on the home run by Miller. It's a 3-2 ball game. Let's head out to Rich and Orestes in the studio for the Jeep Compass game break. Rays will go to the bullpen, down by a run. Brad Boxberger takes over for Alex Cobb, who gave the Rays 6 innings. Boxberger on for the 21st time.
19 in the 3rd innings, 22 strikeouts, and the Rays need their bullpen. Alex Cobb did a nice job, kept them around. Need their bullpen to come up big here, and the Rays offense to squeak out a couple of runs here in the last couple of innings. Dan Jennings already on alert out there. You can see him getting ready. It'll be matchups the rest of the way.
Well, here's Escobar leading off, and a popper short left, a dive, and Echeverria comes up short. Dickerson there for the pickup, and a leadoff base hit for Alcides Escobar.
Boy, a full big swing bloop, and there was no chance for any of the outfielders to get there. And Echeverria, you're asking an awful lot of him to go out and make that play. That ball just perfectly placed. Great effort. Nothing you could do.
Great camera work there to get that attempt by Echeverria.
It was.
That's a great shot. Here's Merrifield. His 16th home run of the year in the 3rd inning to open the scoring in this game. First pitch is a strike. Two. Another left-hander, Mike Minor, up in the bullpen. They have a lot of left-handers out there. Alexander, Booker, Garcia, Minor, Skoglund. Over to first. Escobar's back in. A 2-strike count on Merrifield. Runner takes off, a good break, ground ball 3rd. No play there. Across to first. So Escobar moves to 2nd. Merrifield out. Longoria to Morrison.
Boy, and I think that Escobar had that stolen. He got a great jump. He's been a 50-50 base stealer, 4 out of 8 now. He got a great jump here. Yeah, he did have that. Merrifield hit that ball hard too, but it was right at Longoria. One thing they did is stay out of the double play.
Lorenzo Cain has been on 3 times. A couple of hits and an error, and 2 doubles and 4 at-bats last night.
How many ballparks can you come to and listen to a little in between AB Metallica Seek and Destroy?
That was for you.
Yeah, well.
Welcome back.
A little shout out to the booth.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. This is home to the greatest terrestrial radio rock and roll station in the country.
Yep.
It's not even close. It's not even close. In fact, I always rent a car when we come out here, and it's the one place that I'll rent a car and not want satellite radio, because I won't listen to it. Listen to 98.9 K-Rock. And you'll hear that on there.
There you are.
Yeah, you will. So there you go. It's a little information.
Nice to make you feel comfy out here. A 1-1 count on Cain. Now 2-1. While we're touting the sights and sounds, one of the greatest sights this Liberty World War I museum here, the best World War I museum in the world.
And I loved your scouting report that you gave me on it today. Got another history lesson for you, this time off camera.
It was really cool. Oh, ground ball foul, 2-2. Escobar's at second, 1 out. 2-2 the count here on Lorenzo Cain. Three and 2 the count to Cain. Rays have trailed 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, now 3-2. And that's the count to Cain. Ball 4 is wide. Cain's on base for the 4th time tonight. A walk issued by Boxberger. It's only the 2nd walk in this game tonight. Well, tomorrow on Rays Live, here's what's coming up. Pre-game show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Jake Odorizzi will be on the hill to make the start. We'll hear from him, and the rest is we'll break down Eric Hosmer. Melky Cabrera now the hitter. Strike 1. Cabrera nothing of 3 tonight. 0 for 4 last night. One and one. Dan Jennings up in the Rays bullpen. Cabrera reaching, fouls it, 1 and 2. Boxberger last worked on Saturday when he was touched for the loss on the walk-off by the Cardinals. And he strikes out Cabrera. Well, 2 gone now. Eric Hosmer's due up, and Kevin Cash comes out of the Rays dugout. Hosmer with a single in 3 at-bats and a run scored. And the Rays are going to make a pitching change. Call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon. Weekdays from 9:30 a.m. to noon Eastern, only on FS1. Well, Eric Hosmer, 1 for 3 tonight, about to step in against Dan Jennings, making his 64th appearance. On to match up against Hosmer. Look at Hosmer, 3 of 18 against Jennings in his career. Pitch is inside. Now Cedes Escobar is at second. Lorenzo Cain, the runner, at first with 2 outs and a 1-0 count. Jennings facing Hosmer.
Eric Hosmer is one of those guys that'll use the whole field, spray the ball even on the ground. So you see the Rays playing him pretty traditionally. Echeverria slightly up the middle. Evan pulled a little bit off the bag there at third.
Hosmer takes that pitch for a strike, and it's 1-1. Now, overall, Hosmer does more than hold his own against lefties. He's hitting over 300 against left-handed pitching this year.
Well, that makes sense because of his ability to use the whole field. That's exactly how the Rays have him defensed.
Fastball up. 2-1 the count. Hosmer with his single in the 4th inning. He's 158 hits. Started the day second to Jose Altuve with 175. So Altuve, pretty good lead on everybody else in the league. Toward left center field, well tagged. That ball is gone. Home run by Hosmer. A 2-1 shot into left center field. And Kansas City with a 3-run blast opens a 4-run lead. 2 runs charged to Boxberger and the home run charged to Jennings.
He got a pitch out over, and boy, oh boy, you get a pitch middle in almost, and you're able to take it out to left center field. You talk about the bat speed and the carry, and the Royals have blown this one. Well, for the way this game has felt, 6-2 feels very large lead, but who knows? We'll see.
22nd home run of the year for Hosmer. It is a big one for Kansas City.
Now those 3-run homers are killers. Killers. The Rays had 2 of them last night in that 12-0 rout.
Ground ball shortstop. Echeverria handles this one. Perez is the 3rd out. But a 3-run home run, the big blow in the 7th. It's 6-2 Kansas City as we go to the 8th. Now a 6-2 ball game thanks to that shot off the bat of Eric Hosmer, a 3-run blast in the bottom of the 7th inning. A 3-home run night for Kansas City. The Rays have one from Brad Miller and come in to hit in the 8th, now down by 4, and they'll face Mike Minor, the tall left-hander, pitcher number 4 for Kansas City tonight.
What will happen next?
A big cut and a miss in the moment due to down in the count 0-1.
62 in the 3rd inning, 71 strikeouts, just 16 walks. But the Rays offense is going to have to get busy right away, down by 4.
Minor follows Junis, Alexander, and Mauer. One and one. In fact, I think that's a law firm those 3-piece suit of guys were from. Junis, Alexander, and Mauer.
Very important.
Ground ball to the left side. Stockis up with it, and the throw to first retires Duda. On away. Well, the Rays down here with just 5 outs left. Here's Longoria, who was hit by a pitch. Singled his last time in between, hit a ground ball to short. Cut and a miss for a strike. Evan quickly behind 0-2. Ball 2 strikes.
Boy, that could have gone against the Rays. That was a good fastball there by Minor, down and away. Try it again.
And misses off the plate with it. Logan Morrison on deck. Pitch fouled back. Baltimore beating Seattle 4-0. Erasmo Ramirez, the losing pitcher in that one. And Longoria checked, according to Bill Welke. The count is full.
May have gotten away with 2 different pitches in this at bat.
Lifted up the right side. That's a foul ball. So we'll see another full count pitch. Foul ball. So we're 8 pitches in. Minor would argue that he's 6 strikes in to this at bat.
Maybe have some decent visual evidence too.
And a cut and a miss. He got him to chase the off-speed pitch.
We get a hitter into swing mode, and a lot of times that's exactly what they'll do. That was clearly ball 4. Well off the plate in a way, but
Here's Logan Morrison. Which is a strike. Morrison down in the count. A conversation going with Mike Estabrook. Morrison does have a home run in his career of minor. 5 of 20 with 3 extra base hits, double, triple, and a home run. And there's a fly ball lifted into center. Lorenzo Cain with a lot of room puts it away. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 8th. 6-2 Kansas City. All right, fellas, thank you so much. Mike Moustakas leads off and takes a strike to get the bottom of the 8th inning underway. Oh, 2 count. Ball, 2 strikes. Herrera starts to get loose in the bullpen. Jennings touch for the home run in the 7th inning, opening the bottom of the 8th against the left-handed bat of Mike Moustakas. Moustakas just broke that bat. It's a new one. He's a home run away from tying Steve Balboni for the all-time Kansas City Royals single-season home run mark. Had a difficult time against Jennings, 0 for 8 in his career. It's fouled back. Alex Cobb started. He gave up 3 runs in 6 innings, including a couple home runs. 1 to Whit Merrifield, and that snapped the 45 inning scoreless run the Royals endured. Jorge Bonifacio, who's on deck, hit the other home run off Cobb. And Hosmer connected off Dan Jennings. There's Bonifacio. The count goes to 3-2. Moustakas has been sitting on 35 home runs for 2 weeks now. And he punches it to the left side. What a stop by Echeverria. He gets the throw away, but not in time, and Moustakas has a base hit. Great effort by Echeverria. And Moustakas has a base hit.
Well, this is exactly where Adeiny Echeverria is positioned. Didn't think he had a chance to get to this ball. But look at that effort. Boy, the backhand one hop. Trying to do anything to make a play for his team, and that is something else. And just couldn't do much as far as the throw was concerned, but the effort was fantastic.
Well, here's Jorge Bonifacio. Fouls it right back into the screen. The home run he hit 419 feet in the 6th inning, is 16th home run of the year. One ball, one strike. Now 2-1. Big cut right there, and he fouls it back. And again, a bouncing ball foul holds the count at 2-2. Well, don't forget to tune in tomorrow for the Wednesday Showdown, driven by GMC. Jake Odorizzi on the hill against Jason Vargas. Wrap-up game of this series with the Royals. We'll be with you at 7:30. Shot toward left center. Kiermaier is going to be there to make the catch on this one. And that's the first out of the inning.
Nothing right now coming very easy for the Rays. Well, you knew the Royals at some point were going to score. And what you didn't want to see is the floodgates open. And for a while there, it was one at a time. Not too big of a deal, the Rays hanging around, but the 3-run blast, and like we said, those are the ones that really, really hurt. Earl Weaver special. Speaking of which, his team just continues to win. The Orioles.
Yep, they're now 67-65. Gordon up here with a 1-strike count. Brandon Moss started in this spot. Gordon took over and left in the 7th. Well, take a look at the updated wild card. The Rangers win their game. Baltimore wins. Seattle losing a game, and the Rays and the Royals playing here with the Royals leading.
The worst part about that is if the Rays don't come back and win this game, they'll fall right to the bottom of that list.
Yep.
They'll fall behind Texas. The Royals will move ahead of them, gaining a full game, and you'll go right down to where you'll switch spots with Kansas City.
The ball will be out of play. Moustakas at first. And the 0-2 to Gordon. Breaks his bat, a one hopper. Down to second, one. No throw from Echeverria. So it goes Longoria to Echeverria, 5-6 on the force at second. Gordon reaches on a fielder's choice. And the Kansas City shortstop, Alcides Escobar, will be headed to the plate now. And a base hit in the 7th inning. He opened the 7th with a single and scored on the 3-run home run by Hosmer. Strike the count. Check swing, foul ball, runs it to 0-2. Cleveland, New York rained out at Yankee Stadium. Atlanta, Philly rained out in Philadelphia. Boston beat Toronto 3-0. Baltimore over Seattle in Baltimore 4-0. Texas beat Houston at the Trop 12-2. Down and at the feet of Ramos, and alertly moving up is Gordon. So that's going to be a wild pitch charged to Jennings.
Down and in, it gets up, it gets under the left arm of Wilson Ramos and gets behind him.
So now Gordon's in scoring position. 1-2 the count to Escobar. Two and two. Reaching out, fouling that one, Escobar. The Rays cruised to a 12-0 win last night. Tonight, it was that guy right there, Whit Merrifield, that got the scoring started for Kansas City with a home run, his 16th of the year. He's on deck as Escobar battles Jennings. And there is ball three. 4. So after getting ahead, Jennings loses Escobar and walks him.
This has been a painful inning here for the Rays. Kansas City yet to score, but a ton of pitches, long counts, deep counts, long at bats.
And it will be Whit Merrifield up here for the 5th time tonight. 1 for 4, that home run down the left field line in the 3rd inning. Kansas City started. Yeah. Chopper down to 3rd. Longoria steps on the bag to retire the side. 2 left. We go to the 9th. Souza Jr., Dickerson, and then Ramos due up.
Inning, big reason why. The at-bat of Eric Hosmer, and that coming in the bottom of the 7th inning. And here it is, Dan Jennings, fastball in, 1-1 count, up and in. You can see him trying to continue to go in. That one finds its way towards the middle, and Hosmer is able to stay inside that baseball and lace it out to left center field. I'm gonna tell you something, it's 387 out there, and you stay inside that ball and you hit a line drive, and I don't care if it skipped the top of the wall or not. That is a big blast there by Hosmer, and it took the game from a 3-2 Kansas City lead with 2 outs no less, and blew it open to a 6-2 lead, and Rays are down to their final 3 outs.
Yeah, you get the ball out of here, you've done something. And now Kelvin Herrera is the new pitcher, makes his 53rd appearance, an inning for Mike Minor. And Steven Souza Jr. fouls off that first pitch at 99 miles per hour. Strike 1.
Yeah, he does not mess around. He's going to come at you with triple-digit heater. Very aggressive. You know, he's worked up the ladder here for the Royals. Was a setup guy, 7th inning guy, 8th inning guy, now closing.
Looks at a strike right there. 0-2 to Souza Jr. A wave and a miss. Well, you get behind this guy and he'll drop that on you after starting you at 100. Good luck.
Yeah, no, that's very well put. That's exactly what you need, especially when he locates it like that. Don't have a chance.
So 1 away, and here's Corey Dickerson. Dickerson 1 for 3. Pitch is down, 1-0. Little tapper foul, 1-1. On deck, Wilson Ramos. And this one by him at 99. Herrera worked an inning day before yesterday at Cleveland. No runs, gave up a couple of hits. He had not pitched in a while. Before that, he had some tightness in his forearm and had a week off. Inside, 2-2. It's here in a non-save situation, and like a lot of closers, he's better in save situations than non-save situations. His ERA in non-save situations is up around 580.
This is where, though, if you're going to be a dependable closer, you've got to convince yourself that this is a save situation. Because while it may not be statistically, for your team, for what they've been going through, the time of year, trying to stay relevant in the wild card race, this is a safe situation, and you have to treat it as such.
Out of play, foul ball.
Yeah, if you've got to manufacture a little bit of adrenaline, then that's what you have to do. But you got to say, hey, listen, my team needs me, and they need me to throw up a 0. Because you're right, a lot of guys come in non-save situations, they relax. It's not how they pitch well. These guys pitch with their hair on fire. They're closers, for crying out loud. Firemen.
And this one is fouled away. So he'll see another 3-2 pitch. Angels have a lead in the top of the third at home, 5-2. In their game against Oakland. Three-two and a left toward the line. On the move is Gordon. That's a foul ball as he lays out trying to make the catch, but it's foul, and Dickerson will return to the plate.
Oh, Alex Gordon got an AB and got out into left field precisely for that reason, defense. And if this ball's fair, he's got a chance to make a play on it, the dive, and that ball a couple feet foul. Looking back quickly there to make sure that that was foul and he didn't need to make a play.
Well, that's the way he plays and why he's been such a favorite here. And he struggled the last couple of years to regain his form. Injury, health, had some issues. Swing and a miss. A 9-pitch at bat. Dickerson is out on strikes. So 2 strikeouts for Kelvin Herrera. And Wilson Ramos will be the hitter. 97 away, puts Dickerson away. Crowd of better than 25,000 here tonight. Perez and Herrera with a little visit there before Ramos steps in. Rios takes the pitch upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. This one is popped up right side. Merrifield, who hit the home run that got him on the board, makes the catch to end it. And Kansas City takes this game 6-2. Junis the winner and Cobb the loser. 6-10-0 with 7 left for Kansas City. 2-5, 1-5 for the Rays. For Brian Anderson and Alex Cordry, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast, if not the outcome. Rays Live, the post game presented by W.B. Mason, is next.